The new moon on April the 1st brings the key energy theme of that there's now an increased lightheartedness that's unfolding. And in this video, I want to share with you the 5 key things that I think you should know about this new moon so you can really tap into this energy, open yourself up to receiving the light codes that are now being infused into us with this new moon, and really open up your heart even more. So stay tuned. Hello to beautiful soul, welcome back to another video, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. So excited you're here. Now I'm Kay Sanders, and this channel is all about assisting awakening souls on their spiritual awakening journey so they can really awaken to the power within and create a life of more success, abundance, and freedom, all while living their life on purpose. And if that's you, I do want to extend an invitation. Please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I release new content. So the new moon on April the 1st is, for one, it's not an April Fool's joke here, but it's actually happening on April the 1st. How cool is that, right? So it really brings the key energy theme of that there's now an increased lightheartedness that is now unfolding. And the first thing that I want you to know is that with this increased lightheartedness, it also then releases the tenseness, the seriousness, where you also really open yourself up for more joy in your life, for more ease, and even the wonders that life has to offer for you. So if you have been feeling quite tense as of lately, that also now is falling away, because with this increased lightheartedness, I mean, you know, it's lighthearted, right? You're not so serious anymore. You're not looking at life and looking all the bad things in life, but you're really looking at life from a different angle here. So you're really releasing a lot of that tenseness that you have been feeling up until this point, and really letting it go, tapping more into the joy of life, or actually starting to open yourself up for more joy in life. Because I mean, wouldn't you like some more joy in your life? I know I would. I mean, we all are able to really tap into that, and now with this new moon energy, it really opens us up to really allowing that in even more. And the second thing here is that there's also an ease unfolding now, because as you're really tapping more into joy, into ease, into flow, you're not so constricted anymore, and you're not so worried anymore. Well, then you're actually also opening yourself up to a completely different frequency, right, to enter into your life. Because when you tap into joy, well, or when you're lighthearted, well, you're letting go of a lot of that fearful thinking, so you're tapping more into the ease and flow, so you're opening yourself up to abundance, because you're not so constricted anymore. So whatever you're working on now also becomes more easier as well. Things flow with more ease, because like I said, you're just think of it like that. You're removing a lot of the stress, you're removing a lot of the tension, you're removing a lot of the fear, and the constriction, well, what is left? Ease and flow. And that's what we're being given right now. That's the opportunity that you now have to really tap into, to allow your life to flow rather easily, and instead of constantly having to make stuff happen, trying to, you know, create things and do things and figure things out or whatnot, but really tapping into the flow of allowing things to be easy, allowing things to flow. And the third thing here is that it also creates an inner spark for your creativity. So what I mean with that is, like, you may also feel very creative. You may have ideas just pouring in. Maybe you're even getting so many ideas that you don't even know which ones to start, because they all seem so amazing. I mean, have you ever had the times when you had all these massive downloads that you really didn't know which one to start with? Well, that's kind of the energy we're in right now as well, with this whole opening up our heart, really tapping into lightheartedness. Well, then we're really opening ourselves up to really the creative flow. Your inner senses are also unfolding to be more creative. Maybe you're feeling drawn to start a project or tap into something that you haven't done in a very, very long time. Something that really gets your creative juices flowing. Let's say you used to love to paint or draw. Maybe now you're also feeling the call to go back to that. Because oftentimes we allow our life to just get in the way, and then we're too busy to do the things that we really used to enjoy. Well, now with this, you know, heart opening, the lightheartedness, you're also being drawn back to those things that really bring out your creative juices, that where you can really tap into it, where you can really be creative. And that can even be, maybe you love dancing. You haven't done that in a very long time. Well, turn on the music and dance around in your house, right? Or do something that really allows you to be creative. You may even now around this new moon, maybe go into meditation and really focus on creativity. What do you feel called to do? What do you feel called to create? Do you maybe want to create a program, write a book, do some painting, do some drawing, maybe building stuff, maybe singing, dancing, whatever it is. Tune in and just see, what do you feel called to do? And I want to invite you to check out a light code activation to activate your inner goddess, to really tap into the goddess energy, the feminine energy. That also will then help you really tap more into the creative flow, because the goddess energy is all about creativity. It's about ease. It's about flow. So I put the link in the description below. Check it out if it resonates with you. Then the fourth thing is, you then also have a bit of a different view of life. Like before, maybe things have bothered you. Now you're actually looking at those things from a different angle. Maybe you're looking at it from a more higher perspective, more of the higher truth. And you're realizing that what bothered you before simply doesn't bother you as much no more. Or maybe you're looking at it from a different kind of angle, right? From a different perspective, a perception that you weren't really able or available to do it before. But now with this whole heart opening, you're now really looking at life from a different perspective, because you're looking at life from a more open-heartedness rather than a closed-minded, stressed, constricted, fearful, worried perspective. So you're also really then feeling more uplifted as well. You're looking at life more from love than from anger and frustration and fear and worry. That also then creates spiritual solutions to any challenge that you're having. So let's say you have been challenged with certain challenges, some problems that you have been dealing with, and you didn't really know how to handle it. Well, now as you're really tapping more into this inner flow, this open-heartedness, you're then even finding a solution for that. And sometimes it can be as easy as looking at it from a different perspective, right? And now you have that opportunity to really look at life from a different viewpoint. So that then really creates those different spiritual solutions, because maybe you're realizing what this person did. Maybe they didn't mean it like that, or maybe they're just going through a rough time, which is what caused them to feel that way, or whatever it is. But you're finding now those creative solutions, those spiritual solutions, because also here, the word creative solutions, right? Because there's a solution to every challenge that you're experiencing. There are many solutions for any challenge you're experiencing. So here, tap into the creative flow. How can you creatively solve this problem? Allow yourself to tap into that. Like I said, look at it from a different perspective. And now you're being given that opportunity to really look at it from a different perspective, to see the solution. And oftentimes the solution is right there. It's right in your face. Maybe you just haven't been aware of it. But now, since you're being activated within your heart to really tap more into the ease and flow and lightheartedness, maybe now those solutions become more apparent to you. Then the fifth and final piece here is that your inner child is now stirring as well. And this is actually kind of beautiful, because it's calling you to play more. So that call to play becomes even louder. When was the last time you really just did something absolutely crazy, childlike, and absolutely had fun? Where you laughed so hard that you were crying? Or you just played for fun? Oftentimes as adults, we don't really do much play, right? We don't really do much childlike things. And now the call for that really comes louder, because it also taps into the whole creative flow, right? Because a child, think back when you were a child. How creative were you back then? I know I used to write stories, I used to sing, and back then I really could not sing. And now thinking back at it, very embarrassing, so I'm not going to tell you that story. But anyways, think back when you were a child. You didn't think about all the problems that you have, because you didn't really have any, right? You were a child. Well, now it's really that call to play more, to really tap into your inner child, to let your inner child come out more and play. Because your inner child is still part of you. It's never left. It's still part of you. I mean, you just kind of grew out of it, but that inner child is still there. Your future self is already there too. So you can connect with either or, but connect more with your inner child. Let your inner child come out more. Take some time to really bring more joy back into your life. More laughter, more fun, more ease, more creativity. When you were a child, you didn't have all these worries that you have right now, because you didn't care, right? You were a child. So embody your inner child more, because it's part of you, and let it come out and play. When you tap into that, your life can then transform, because then you're not always just so stressed and worried and always just thinking about the things you have to do and thinking about the things that are not going so right now. So tap more into that. I mean, now this energy, I think this is so fitting, because April Fool's Day is the day of, well, being a fool. Well, be a fool, just in an appropriate way, okay? Nothing bad. Just let the inner child come out. Really be more coming from the heart, being light-hearted. Tap into the creative senses. Look at life from a different perspective. Look at it through the eyes of love and gratitude, appreciation, higher perspective, higher truth. And let your inner child come out and play. So here you have the 5 key things to know about this new moon on April the 1st. I hope you enjoyed it. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you did. And also maybe leave me a comment below. Let me know, what creative projects do you feel called to start creating? And also, how can you bring more joy back into your life? These are really the 2 things I want to invite you to also kind of contemplate about now leading up to the new moon, and especially around the new moon, to really tap into the energy of being a fool a little bit more often, or a fool as in childlike, really tapping into the creative flow and bringing more joy into your life. And really contemplate, how can you do that? What can you create? How can you bring more joy into your life? And like I said, leave a comment below. Let me know. I would love to know, and I would love to, send you some loving energy to help you really bring more joy into your life as well. But here you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now be sure to check out this next video here about invoking your inner goddess, so you can really tap more into the feminine energies, the feminine flow, the creative flow. I really think you're going to love it. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Until then, make it an amazingly abundant and successful day. Namaste.